UVCE Chronicles, sing it loud. Echoes of our past, we're proud. From the heart of Bangalore to the world we soar.
Hello to all the viewers and listeners. Welcome to another exciting episode of UVC Chronicles. My name is Asshray Sudhakar from 4th Sem Electronics and Communication Engineering. In today's episode, we are joined by Mr. Sandhu Sajeevan. He is a very recent graduate of UVC. He graduated in 2016 from the Mechanical Engineering Department. Sir, we here at UVC Chronicles believe that nothing is better than a first-hand introduction of the guest. So, can you please give a first-hand introduction about yourself?
Yep. Thank you, Ashray and Adrian as well. First of all, I would like to thank for this opportunity to speak directly to my alma mater, and it's the first time that I'm getting this opportunity to interact with the batch. Maybe even if it is online, I think it's a significant experience for me, and I would like to thank for this opportunity. So a little bit about myself. As Ashray mentioned, I graduated in the year 2016, mechanical. So uh, I directly after passing out of my engineering, I joined BPCL. I was working as a management trainee there, and I in the end I was by the time I had left BPCL after 4 years of experience, I was a plant manager there, working in the aviation fueling facility at Coimbatore. During my time in BPCL itself, I was parallelly trying to crack CAT to do an MBA from one of the top colleges. I was fortunate enough to kind of crack that in 2019 CAT, and 2020 I joined IIM Bangalore. So in 2022, I graduated out of IIM Bangalore. Post which I joined Amazon as an operations manager. So in Amazon, I worked for about 30, 31, 32 months. I just recently resigned from Amazon. I got another opportunity, overseas opportunity in another company. So I would be moving out pretty soon. So yeah, that is a little bit basic about me.
That was a very wonderful introduction, sir. And coming back to your days at UVC, how were the days back then, and are there any memories that you still cherish? Would you like to share them with us?
Okay. So for me, all of my significant memories in UVC revolved around football. So I was extremely interested uh, in football even during my school days, and when I joined engineering, and I didn't have any kind of mentorship or anyone to guide me prior to taking up engineering as well. I was the first one in the family, both moms and dad's side, to do an engineering degree. So I was completely blind when I had wrote CET and got in through UVC. So I didn't know what to expect. There were a few checklists in my mind itself that I wanted to achieve, and that one of them was to play football, right? Uh, uh, but when I joined college in 2012, there wasn't really a football team at that point of time. And then but we were just a few of us students. We casually started playing whenever we get breaks. And then it was towards the end of my first year that my immediate seniors, we they took an initiative to form a football team. And then from from the beginning of my second year, that is around 2013, we started going for football tournaments. And we used to play quite a lot of tournaments, and we used to practice very religiously every single day, till about 6:30 in Central College grounds. And that was something that we did very religiously. Unfortunately, we didn't win any matches, like we didn't win any trophies. And it was in 2016, when I was in my final year, that we actually won the first football tournament. I mean, we came in runners up, and we had two trophies, and that was quite a journey, right? So for me, my significant memories of UVC have revolved around football. Some of my closest friends I've got through football. I've gotten closer to some of my classmates because of football. So that is that I would say is probably my significant memory.
So, speaking of your interest and passion in football, you were not only into sports, but then you also aced in academics as well. You were a gold medalist in the university and ranked second overall. So how did you manage both of them? Because managing sports and academics, it's not that easy of a job. And you got a gold medal is about that. So how did both work together, and how can one manage sports and academics together?
So yeah, I would, from my personal experience, I would credit a lot of my success to my seniors in the football team, who were also kind of like a mentors to me, right? So fortunately, all of my seniors, while they were crazy about football, they were pretty serious about their academics as well. They were pretty good students. While they probably would not have got a rank or a gold medal, they were pretty good at their academics, and they were always serious about scoring well in their exams, right? So it was just after I joined, like I said, right, I didn't have any kind of mentorship. I did not have any contacts within the college. So it was completely a new experience for me joining UVC without any networking at that point of time. And then because of football, I kind of got the opportunity to interact with some of the seniors who I mentioned earlier, right? They were extremely interested in football, and they were pretty good at academics as well. So one of the first questions that I probably asked my seniors were like, what is a decent score, to score in our final exams? Like, what is considered to be a good score? And my seniors told me that anything above 80% for us here is considered to be pretty good, and you would be ranked among the top, right? So personally, that is a benchmark that I had set for myself to kind of aim and achieve every single time. I did not compare myself to anybody else because I had no idea as to how capable the other people were, because I understood that at that point of time a lot of top students across the state were joining UVC, right? So comparing probably would, yeah, there's a it probably would not have worked for me. So I kept that benchmark as 80%, and I consistently tried to achieve that and better myself every single point of time. It was only I was, to be honest, and we never kept scores as to where we stood amongst each other. uh, I was pretty surprised when I got a call from the admin office saying that I got a rank and I was called to collect my gold medal, right? So only thing that I did was consistently kept a score of above 80%, and I had my seniors to kind of guide me and tell me, what to expect from each of the subjects. When the semester was happening, sometimes we discuss about academics as well after practice, and they tell this FM fluid mechanics is good. You can expect these things. The professor kind of asks these questions and stuff, so you can probably prepare in that manner. These are the lab. In these lab, you need to be more serious about these experiments, because the chances of these experiments being asked during final exam is much higher. So I had that kind of understanding because my seniors were there to support me, and I got that intelligence from them, and I made use of it, right? And I was fortunate enough that it worked out pretty well for me, and that ended up bearing fruits for me in the end.
Thank you for your insights on this, sir. I'm sure now even our viewers have got an idea about how to manage and make things go hand in hand even when you have multiple things on their plates. So, also during your first an introduction, you did mention about your work experience at BPCL. And so, can you please explain me how did you land at BPCL? Because it's a dream of many to work at PSUs like BPCL. So, can you please explain about your work profile and experience at BPCL?
So BPCL first came for campus recruitments in UVC in 2015, right? And uh, it was some it was a company that nobody expected to come, but in 2015 they came, and to everyone's surprise, they recruited around 11 or 10 to 11 individuals from the batch, right? So we understood, and in 2016 they again came, and so we understood that there is a probability that again they would be recruiting such high numbers, and primarily they recruited from mechanical and civil engineering, where normally placements are not as great as some of the other departments like CS or ISC and EC, right? Uh, Basically, you know uh, I just went by this motto that I'm not gonna miss out on any opportunities and try my best and ensure that I cracked it. So when it comes to BPCL, there was a technical round. There were a GD, a technical round, and then there was HR round. Uh, prior to the shortlisting, right? Of based on it, it was completely based on your score, final year scores, like your cumulative aggregate scores. So after that, I was successfully able to navigate through these processes, and I got through to BPCL, right? Uh, so there were about 11, again there were around 11 students from our batch, 11 or 12 students from our batch. I think eight from mechanical, and four from civil engineering who joined the batch, and it was a very good experience. And it is because of my experience in BPCL that I actually uh, had the courage, I would say, to uh, try attempting cat, and I was successful to join in joining IIM Bangalore. So it's because of BPCL in a lot of ways that I kind of had the courage to do it. So yeah, it's through campus placements, and yeah, our batch was extremely lucky. I think even to date, our batch probably has the best placement record throughout the college history.
Very true, sir. Even today, mechanical engineering placement at UVC do stand out compared to any other colleges in Bangalore.
Even within mechanical, just if you look at UVC's history of placements, I think 2016 pass outs had the best highest number of recruitments, companies visiting, I believe. I saw that stat somewhere, or probably would be among the highest. Yeah. So, and I had a brief discussion with my friends from NITK as well, and we even compared to NITK as well, we did quite well. We are at par, or probably as good as them in terms of placements that particular year.
That's something very good to know, sir. Also, sir, after you worked at BPCL, you made a transition to the management field. That is, you joined IIM. So I'm very curious to know how did you crack an exam as tough as CAT while working parallelly at BPCL and made it to one of the top IIMs in India?
See, when I was a very confused individual when I was doing my engineering, right? I would say I was a chance engineer. I happened to do engineering because probably I was thrown into science by different forces, probably parents, teachers, and then I was very confident that I do not want to do medical, and then in the end mechanical was the best option because I was not very interested in computers as well at that point of time, right? So I just happened to have done engineering, but I knew how to score well in exams. I knew I I was pretty resourceful, I would say, in terms of the information that I gathered from my seniors, and I, I am a quick learner, so it helped me with my grades, right? So, but however, while doing engineering as well, I was quite confused. I was not very sure as to what next after engineering. So and especially when we are in our second, third, fourth year of engineering, there are a lot of people who keep pursuing different things. Some of them might be preparing for going for abroad for higher studies, or some of them might be looking out for CATE coaching. Some of them want to do higher studies in Germany, and they will be going for German classes. Some of them are targeting specific companies for placements, right? So there are different types of people, and because of that I was extremely confused. So in third year I kind of went for German classes, right? That's the first thing that I did, and I cleared A1 course of German. And then midway through, I think after that I didn't pursue that, right? Because then there was another senior who told us that Canada is a better option for higher studies, and then that kind we kind of tried IELTS with that. So me and a friend of mine who was always together in preparation and stuff, so both of us wrote IELTS, and then we kind of got a decent grade there. And then after that, with placements also, because I was unsure, I got placed into a company first which was a private company which did not pay as much. And then when BPCL came in, we gave that a shot, and I got placed there. So once BPCL kind of came into the picture, at that point of time, that was the best option that was available with me as a confused individual, and I took that as an option, and I pursued with that. After joining BPCL, after the first year, I realized that I like management quite a lot. However, the company's culture, the way it operates was something that is not for me, right? In terms of learning, it was extremely limited from my perspective. It was a very hierarchical company, like how a typical government company that you see in TV and works, right? It was exactly like that. So I believe that, no, I didn't think that there was a lot of learning for me. So then, if I had to go back, and since I was interested in management, and I was looking out for opportunities, and when it was during one of a discussion with a colleague of mine at that point of time, that I kind of considered this. Doing an MBA from a top college, and I was only considering a top college like IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, right? Only of three of these colleges was initially in my purview at that point of time, and I was pretty frustrated with my job because it was 6 days a week. We had to, it was a shift job. So sometimes I had to work morning plus night shift, sometimes afternoon plus night. So 16 hours a week, 16 hours a day continuously we work. So it was not very, it was a little bit intensive in terms of work, in terms of the sleep cycle. A lot of health issues and stuff. So I was thinking, yeah, probably this is not the best place for me, and I kind of uh, decided to pursue cat in 2018, and then I wrote cat first in 2018, and that was an unsuccessful attempt, and I had prepared quite a lot. Again, right, I did not have any mentors, I did not know anybody who were studying in these colleges. And I had relied completely on online materials, maybe YouTube videos or any other Facebook page groups or something like that, and then I started preparing, and I was unsuccessful. And in 2019, I kind of gave it another attempt, and I was, at that point of time, I was successful. I was fortunate enough to have, got through all the IIMs except for IIM Calcutta, and I chose to. I was confused between IIM Ahmedabad and Bangalore, and I chose to join IIM Bangalore because at that point of time I had 4 years of work experience, and because of that work experience, I would be a better fit for at IIM Bangalore than IIM Ahmedabad, because otherwise both of the colleges are almost equal in terms of all the performances and stuff. So I decided to join IIM Bangalore like that. So in terms of balancing, see, it's a matter of uh, how hard you're willing to try for something that you really want, right? So I knew a lot of people within BPCL itself, my own batchmates, who were consistently telling that they need to leave the company, they need to pursue higher studies, but then they were not putting in a lot of effort. I would say, when I compare them to me, I would say that the difference is probably I was consistent. I was trying, pursuing it again and again and again, while I probably was not very good at it because of my consistency at that some point of time, and with a bit of luck I was successful. So I would say that, be consistent. Obviously anybody can, I would say, 1 or 2 hours a day for an exam like cat is more than enough to secure a good enough score, right? And I think even if you're working the most difficult job of 14, 15 hours a day as well, 1 hour a day, if you are committed enough, you can easily spend and crack the exam. So I would say, that is it's not a very difficult exam like gate or anything, and it's cat is only again a first step, right? There are so many other selection stages that we go through to get into IIM. So yeah, it's the first step. Once it was cracked, I was, I put in some more effort. I reached out to more people who cracked the exam, in terms of how to clear interviews and write essays and stuff, and I was able to kind of take it from there.
That was a very motivating talk, so thank you for that. Also, sir, would you recommend MBA for people who are confused and have already taken up engineering, and in their later days they develop interest in management? Would IIMs and would management be helpful for such people as well?
My example is of, because I was exposed to these management job, right? BPCL was a management profile job, right? We were managing people, operations. We were working on simultaneously a lot of projects in terms of efficiency improvements and all. Because of that exposure, I was i- inclined towards it, right? So what I would say is, if you are someone who is confused even after joining, MBA is a very good option, because MBA opens up a lot of avenues, right? Engineering degree is probably, it depends a lot on your work experience and probably what your work experience takes us, right? If you are into, uh, you know product management for, let's say, and then you would it probably to switch away from that might be a lot of very difficult, and networking also is probably not as much as that you would get in an MBA degree, right? So MBA in that way is extremely good because it opens up a lot of avenues. I was sure that BPCL could not would never be able to open so many avenues for me because it was oil and gas related, and it is very industry specific. If I had to make a switch, I would have gone into another oil and gas industry, right? Oil and gas company. So I think because of that as well, because I wanted more freedom in terms of what I wanted to explore in life, I decided to do an MBA. And even I considered MS, but again, right, it is limited to engineering. And at that point of time, I was more interested in management, and I had first-hand experience working in a management role, right? So yeah.
Thank you, sir. I'm sure your words brought a ray of light to many of the confused minds watching this episode. Also, sir, to mention you have been a topper in many of the national level case competitions. Can you please explain to our viewers what are these case competitions and what exactly happens here?
So it's pretty common. Especially when if you join any MBA colleges, right? That there would be a lot wide variety of competitions that are conducted by certain companies, like Nestle, Reliance. So many companies, Tata conducts it. So many companies conduct it, and so case competitions are basically very simple. They give a business problem to us, and we end up solutionizing that business problem, right? And it's as simple as that. So uh, see, in another word, what in other words, I would say that uh, companies can, instead of choosing an external consulting agency, they can conduct a case competition like this, wherein they throw in their actual business problems, and these students from top colleges across the country works on this and then solutionize it. So they get a wide variety of solutions from these students, and probably sometimes these solutions might be at par with what these top consulting companies also provide. So when I joined IIM, in the first just the first after the first 2 or 3 months, we had our summer internship, right? So I at that point of time, I had to prepare my resume, and I put in all the achievements that I had until my BPCL, right? Because I just joined IIM, so that was I had no resume points from IIM Bangalore that point of time. So it was during my time when I was preparing for this resume, we have to interact with our seniors, and they kind of verify each of these resume points. And a lot of my seniors told me that it's a very unimpressive resume, and you need to dig more and find out if you have if you can try to have more resume points, if not now, at least by the end of your MBA, when you go for final placements. I needed that point. So case competitions is one such source of getting good resume points, because if we actually put in the work, stay committed to it, and work really hard, we 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 have the opportunity to win it. And and it is out of thousands of participants, right? And it's a pretty good resume point, because again, right, we are given real business problems majority of the times, and then we try to solutionize it and present it in a very practical manner to the to the judges. So I was fortunate enough to have won a few, at least at the campus level. And I would say that by the end of my MBA, I think I had around 3 or 4 uh, case competitions wherein we came in runners up, or we were among the best in the college at that point of time. So I would say that did help me with my final placements and getting into Amazon. So yeah, case competitions are, it's basically wherein companies give us real life problems, and we kind of solutionize it and present it back.
Also, sir, since you did mention about Amazon, can you please share your work experience at Amazon?
Yeah. So again, right, I got into Amazon from campus placements itself. So I joined Amazon as part of this leadership program called AFBP. It's called Amazon Future Builders Program, right? So we spend around it's a 30-month program where we spend 15 months in one team and 15 months in another team. So I was hired as an operational manager, so it's basically an L5 position. L5 operation manager, and so my initial stint, it's again completely I was dealing with people management, and again we had a lot of metrics, operational metrics, that we need to ensure was in the green at all points of time. It could be efficiency, it could be quality, it could be reduction, improving the process, removing the bottlenecks of the processes, etc., right? So my 15 months first 15 months in Amazon, I was with a regulatory compliance team. I was with transportation risk compliance team. So it basically, we used to do the audits for the delivery service partners of Amazon across different marketplaces in the world, and I was managing US marketplace specifically. So my first 15 months, I kind of was part of this team, and then the next 15 months, I got the opportunity to work for seller partner services, where again, right, we handle the queries and problems from the sellers, and we try to resolve them. So again, we were handling seller partner services for different marketplaces, and I was primarily handling European and US marketplaces. So I was part of Amazon until March this year, and I just resigned because I got another opportunity in another company abroad. So probably I'd be joining the company by the end of this month, or first week of next month.
So now coming to the last question, looking back at your journey from UVCE to BPCL to IIM Bangalore to Amazon, what advice would you like to offer to current students or young alumni who are trying to, find their path in their career?
Yep. Yeah. So, Ashay, so one thing that I would say is, especially for those who are confused, right? There is, and it is very rarely that we see people in our batch, people in who are doing engineering, who are very sorted in their mind that, this is what I want to do after engineering, and this is what I would pursue with full seriousness, and this is what I am going to get, right. Majority of us are extremely confused. We just attend placements randomly. We just go with the flow, right. We just look at what our friends do, and then we kind of follow that. I was an extremely confused individual like that. I had no idea where I wanted to be, where I wanted to be, and what I wanted to do. So one thing that really worked for me is that I never took any opportunities that came my way. I never took it lightly, right? Even when I was sure that the placements, some majority of the placements that comes in for mechanical, they at that point of time were not offering beyond 4 or 5 lpa, right. It's not a lot when you think about it, from when we compare mechanical department to some of the other departments within the campus itself. So while I understood that probably placements would not give me the best option, I kind of attended placements seriously, and I got through Saint Gobain initially. And it was not that good of a role. I mean, it was a technical sales, and it was paying less than 5 lakhs, if I remember right, correctly, right. I kind of I attended placement seriously, and I got that opportunity. And then once I had the opportunity, I got that opportunity in hand. I decided that, I need to try for, applying for colleges outside as well, right. Because I was pretty confident that I'm not going to do gate in India, and study MTech in India, because again, I was seeing a lot of stats that, even placements within India for any MTech students also, it's not that great. So if I'm going to invest that much time, I need that much reward. So I was pretty sure that I'm not going to do MTech India, so some of the options I could already eliminate, right. So at that point of time, with this job in hand, uh, I was looking at doing an MS abroad. I was extremely interested in heat and mass transfer, and theory of IC engines, subjects like that. And uh, so I wanted to do something related to aerospace engineering. And so at that point of time, I didn't want to take things lightly. So my final year project, I kind of did it seriously. I had my teammates were also very pretty serious, and we did something related to biofuels, right? And so because we were serious, our professor also was, liked us very much. I'm still in touch with our professor at that point of time. So if I had to choose that opportunity, that path, I was confident that my professor is going to write me a good letter of recommendation, right? So I wanted, because I was unsure about work, I kind of wanted to ensure that this path is kind of secured, right? So I while and these are all part of curriculum itself. It's not something that I went beyond something that beyond my academics, right? It is part of my academics, and I just final year project, majority of the students I see from our college do not take it very seriously, and they just do it for the sake of doing it. But I wanted to do it a little more seriously, and then build that rapport with my professor. And so that was there. While that was there, BPCL just randomly came into the picture. We were completely not we were completely thrown aback that BPCL is coming again, because we thought it was a one-off thing that in 2015 they came, and then again 2016 they came. Okay, so because they are coming again, right? They are shortlisting based on scorecards, our marks till then, and it is very difficult for us to see through till the final process, 4 or 5 stages of the process, right? But I was lucky enough to get that. So till that point of time, until I got placed in BPCL with Saint Gobain's job, with MS abroad, and then BPCL. For me, the best option at that point of time was BPCL, and I would say, because I took each of the opportunities very seriously, I was in a position where I got into BPCL, right? If I would not have, if I would not have done any of the other initiatives, right? I would say other company, or if my final year project, if I wouldn't have taken seriously, then I would have been in a much more pressurized situation to perform extremely well in BPC. Because then, because I had no other, I had all the, it would have mean that it would have mean that all my eggs are in one bucket, and if I fail, and I have a lot to lose, right? So, and prior to getting into Saint Gobain, I had kind of attended 5 to 6 interviews. Everything I was rejected, left, right, center. I was getting rejected even by the mass companies. If I remember, Cognizant also rejected me, right? And it was towards the end of that I got placed into Saint Gobain, and this was a golden opportunity or something like that, BPCL, and because of that I could attend again, right? So I would say that every single opportunity that you have, make sure that you take it seriously and you give it your fullest, because you do not know what is going to come into the picture later on, towards the later part of your college life, or whatever it is, right? Because I got into BPCL, I was confident that it was a better opportunity, and I went into BPCL. And because I went into BPCL, I was confident enough to go to attend CAT, because BPCL at that point of time, I was doing pretty well. I was among the youngest of plant managers in aviation department. And it's a very small department. There's only around 130, 150 odd officers who were there, and we were getting paid pretty well. And at that young age, I was around 24 years old when I was a plant manager, and we were doing around 3-4 crores of sales every month. So it was a pretty decent plant, right? So because I was in BPCL, because the exposure that I had in BPCL, I was confident enough to do CAT. And then most of once you get through CAT, and with the experience like BPCL, because you consistently speak to a lot of stakeholders, and they are stakeholders like excise commissioners, we interact with the Airport Authority of India directors and stuff like that. So I was confident enough to kind of uh, uh, improve my skill sets to kind of clear CAT, right? So I would say it is a chain reaction, and it all started because I kept my options open, and I gave equal weightage to all of my options. And I had the opportunity. Because I did this, I took up the best option available with me, right? If I would not have done any of these things in this order, right? It happened to have been in this way. If I Let's assume that if I did not get through BPCL, and if I was working in Saint Gobain, I am confident that I wouldn't have taken up CAT, because I, at that point of time, definitely would not have wanted to spend beyond 1 or 2 years in Saint Gobain in a company that pays just 5 or 6 lakhs, right? BPCL at that point of time was paying us close to 18 lakhs, especially after the seventh pay commission, right? The pay was extremely good, and it was a government job, right? Because of that freedom that we had, because of the mental freedom that I had at that point of time, I was confident that even if I lose 1 or 2 years, I'll be consistent with cat and I'll get through. If I was in another place, I would probably have chosen to do an MS from another from abroad, right? My closest friend, he's done he who joined with me along with me in BPCL. He left a couple of years ago and he joined TU Delft for his MS in renewable energies. So I think it is because of the options that I kept live, and because I took things seriously, especially because I was confused with a lot of things. I just wanted to keep my options open, because if I fall back on one of the options, I had something else to take up. So that is something that I want to, advise my fellow UVCians as well, that, keep take every single opportunity very seriously. Do not miss out on opportunities. Sometimes some opportunities comes only once in a lifetime, right? So make sure that you are putting in the effort, and this is the right time, this is the only time probably that you can actually put in the extra effort and ensure that you get the right grades, you interact with the right professors, and you try for the right exams, right? So make sure that you kind of keep your options open and make sure you work hard towards it.
Thank you for those inspiring and golden words, sir. I'm sure the younger generation will inculcate these advices in their life. And thanks again for your time and this opportunity, sir. It was really an honor and a privilege to host this episode. Thanks again, sir.
Thank you, Ashay. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Adrian.